From VOA Learning English, this is the Economics Report. India is hoping its economy will improve in the weeks to come. Over the past 2 years, economic growth dropped to the lowest levels in recent years. Gurdeep Singh grows crops on about 40 hectares of productive land in the northern state of Punjab. Mr. Singh says he plans to buy a new and bigger tractor to make his work easier. He also hopes to buy a car after he pays the loans for his farm equipment. Vishnu Mathur is the head of the Society of Automobile Manufacturers of India. He says there is a weak demand in cities for passenger cars. But he says economic gains in rural areas could help car makers. This expression of hope in the automobile industry may be a sign that the worst could be over for the Indian economy. Experts believe the 2013 economy will show less than 5% growth when the financial year ends in March. Rafiq Ahmed is head of the Federation of Indian Export Organizations. He says exports are growing because of the devalued rupee and better economic conditions worldwide. Indians' money, the rupee, lost more than 20% of its value compared to the United States dollar last year. The Indian economy is widely expected to grow, yet economists say it is unlikely to reach the 9% growth seen just 3 years ago. Finance Minister P. Chidambaram has said the economy will expand at a rate of more than 6% in 2014. Economists say trust among investors, both in India and in other countries, must return before the Indian economy can improve. Many investors are waiting to see who will lead India after national elections to be held by May. For VOA Learning English, I'm Carla Babb.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Economics Report. The capital of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, is seeing big changes. To many people, the city now seems like one very large building project. Heavy equipment blocks roads, causing traffic delays. One taxi driver says the roads are so crowded and traffic so slow that he has had to ask his passengers to pay more. The United Nations says areas of poor living conditions make up 80% of Addis Ababa. So city developers have proposed a 10-year master plan. It includes more than 1 million new low-rent houses, as well as new office buildings. New roads and railways are being built to connect all the planned buildings. Abram Workna is an urban planner from Addis Ababa University. He says development can have unpleasant short-term results. He says people lose their homes and their farms to make room for the expanded area. He sees a problem of social links being destroyed as communities disappear under high buildings. The urban planner says city master plans are sometimes ignored. He says many historic buildings are destroyed during such intense development. The new roads and other infrastructure projects in Addis Ababa are going up faster than first planned. Often, the space intended for parking vehicles is instead used for more building. The city government says this is a learning experience for everyone. Haragat Alemu is an official at the Land Development and Urban Renewal Agency. He says the city must develop methods to enforce the master plan. Work on new roads and an elevated train are expected to be finished in 2017. For VOA Learning English, I'm Carolyn Presutti.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Economics Report. Many people who want to buy goods, pay for services, or send money anywhere in the world are using Bitcoin. They do not have to use banks or credit cards when they use the electronic money. Bitcoin is not issued by governments, yet it is bought, sold, and exchanged like other currencies through trading companies. Bitcoin is electronically protected or encrypted. Jerry Brito is a technology policy analyst at George Mason University. He says Bitcoin is the world's first true digital currency that is not controlled by anyone. However, the very things that people like about the digital currency are also what criminals like about it. They want to move money from place to place secretly, without governments knowing about it. Law enforcement agencies in the United States recently closed an online market that used Bitcoin. Marco Santori is the chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation's Regulatory Affairs Committee. He notes that all Bitcoin deals can be seen by all other computers. He says Bitcoin is regulated. He says the Bank Secrecy Act regulates those who exchange Bitcoins for other digital currencies or for dollars. The amount of Bitcoin in the system must always be counted and tracked. The United States, Germany, and many other governments accept the use of Bitcoins. Some officials have called for stronger regulations. China recently banned its banks, but not businesses, from trading in Bitcoin. The value of a Bitcoin has increased since the digital currency began in 2009. It has gone from being worth just a few pennies to being valued at hundreds of American dollars. For VOA Learning English, I'm Laurel Bowman.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Economics Report. Chinese officials say the national economy grew last year at about the same rate as in 2012. The 7.7% growth rate was the slowest growth China has reported since 1999. China's economy is the world's second largest. Ma Jiantang is director of China's National Bureau of Statistics.
He says it is no easy job to keep growth at over 7% and to keep inflation low. He says this combination is unusual in the world. China's economy had 10% growth rates in the years before the world financial crisis of 2008. That economic growth resulted from big trade surpluses and foreign investment. Now, says Ma Jiantang, China is working to balance exports with demand at home. Recently released information shows that household spending in China remains lower than in most economies. Some experts say businesses often buy goods for their employees to avoid taxes. This means companies are increasing demand for household goods by buying them directly. Chinese officials say they want to reduce the economic influence of state-controlled businesses and to let market forces shape the economy. However, economists expect China's growth to slow in the coming years. The economic recovery in Western countries means rising demand for Chinese exports. One issue that might slow growth is the expanding local government debt. That debt is estimated at about 1/3 of the economy. The central government is moving away from growth to areas such as environmental protection and containing debt. Experts say that could also weaken investment and slow growth. For VOA Learning English, I'm Alex Villarreal. From VOA Learning English, this is the Economics Report. Researchers have produced a new map of mining areas in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The map shows mines under the control of the Congolese army and armed groups. The study suggests that the top conflict mineral from the area is now gold. A Belgian group, the International Peace Information Service, developed the map with the DRC Registry of Mines. The researchers found that armed groups were involved at about 200 of the 800 mines they studied. The Congolese army was involved at 265 mines. The researchers said that both the military and the rebels are illegally taxing mine workers. The International Peace Information Service carried out a similar survey in 2009. Philip Hilgert was the lead researcher. He told VOA the armed groups are now profiting much more from gold than from other conflict minerals such as tin, tungsten, and tantalum. One reason for the change has been an increase in the price of gold. Another reason has been stronger international rules for mineral imports. Mr. Hilgert says such efforts have had a big effect on trade in tin, tungsten, and tantalum, but it has not affected the gold trade. Judith Sargentini is a member of the European Parliament. She has been campaigning for a European law on conflict minerals. She notes that gold, like diamonds, is easy to transport in small amounts, which can make it hard to know where it was mined. The German Geological Institute, BGR, has collected minerals from hundreds of mines in Rwanda. The collection could be used to prove if minerals come from a conflict area. For VOA Learning English, I'm Alex Villarreal.